You know, they call this hate teaching. This is not hate teaching. This is love teaching. Right. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell you what I'm telling you. That's right. I wouldn't stick my neck up. I wouldn't take the chance. Yeah. Well, don't you know that old blue-eyed thing stands around here just waiting for me to say something that he can put me in jail? I make sure that everything I say is the truth, the gospel truth. And once I know it's the truth, I'm going to tell it if it costs me my life. So this isn't hate teaching. This is love teaching. This is love talk. We love you, but we don't love him. We want to unite with you, but we don't want to unite with him. We recognize you as our brother, but we don't recognize that old blue-eyed thing as our brother. Let him go on and be a brother to himself.
When you're going to be insulted, rejected, and all those kind of things, we have to go through as a people chronically. Shame, guilt, self-contempt, self-alienation. Many of us just want to get away from ourselves. I'm not black. I was human before I was black. You got some crazy group making that statement. All this other stuff, I'm anything but black, please. We get displaced aggression, we're angry, but we can't attack the people who are doing it to us. We attack fellow victims. Right. We even identify with our aggressors. We want to be just like the people that rape and rob us. We restrict our mental field, deliberately, in a sense, become dumb, hoping that what we don't know won't hurt us. And therefore we invest in knowing nothing. And therefore, escape responsibility in the vein of knowledge. You see? Yeah, we learn to be dumb. Yeah, we work at it. You can look at it in the schools, working at being dumb. I'm telling you. And that's a reality because how many of us grew up when under the aegis of when a white man called you a smart nigga, you know you're in trouble. Yeah. And for safety's sake, you didn't want that label to get out. And some of us spend acting dumb in front of white men until we actually became what we pretended to be. And some of us then identified that with.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, Cassidra? How you doing?
What's going on, forecast? How are you? How was your day?
It was good. It was good. How about yours?
It was good. Ready for another great show.
Yeah, Cassidra. We already got another good one for them today.
Of course, always.
Mm-hmm. And this is something that we definitely need to talk about. Because I understand, and it's been brought up before. And I know people have their different opinions about certain things, but
and if
it's
they
something.
do, come up and talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
If we're wrong, let us know, because
yeah,
the more the merrier.
Yeah. So if you disagree or feel some type of way, or it shouldn't feel some type of way, but if you disagree, you're welcome to come on here and chop it up with us. So consider, today, I called this one, I just called it a lost generation, because I know how you feel about, our children and stuff like that, and how they come up here. What's going on, my brother Anthony?
Hey, what's going on, forecast? What's up, man? You doing all right?
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Cassidra, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing fine. Out here in the hood, man, over here kicking it with one of my homeboys, just chilling. I just happened to look up and see y'all's over. I know forecast told me he was gonna be on Wednesday. I forgot though.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate you being here,
Yeah. What's going on? Hey,
now,
hey, forecast. Can I just say one thing before you go, brother?
Go ahead, my brother.
I just wanted to ask Miss Cassidra what she think about the brother getting our lick back in North Carolina.
Wait a minute. You said do what about North Carolina? What happened?
The brother getting our lick back.
Oh, did I miss something?
The brother who shot the police.
Oh man, I was excited.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was so excited. I went on that tweet and I said, you know what? Sowing and reaping is real, boy. Woo, I sure did. I said, ooh, we are not missing nothing. I said, maybe we can get more. I said, rest in peace. Rest in peace, my brother. That's what I say. Rest in peace. I hate he had to die for it, but I tell you what, yeah, put a little bit out for him. Man, I feel nothing. Sowing and reaping is real. You don't know what them dudes did in the past to get that. Woo! But I ain't mad at him. I wish he could have got a little bit. I wish he could have got a few more.
Hey,
He
hey,
shot
hey,
9. Four what?
hey,
He shot 9 and 5, 4 and 5 died. 4 died.
yeah, I think for Cassidra, if somebody had asked me, they came and asked me, one of my online partners asked me, hey man, what you think about that the shooting in North Carolina? I said the first thing I thought about was Breonna Taylor.
That's right. Exactly.
That's all I thought about.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Her and her mama. Yep, I feel nothing. I sure feel absolutely nothing. Why would I feel bad for murderers? Because you know them jokers done did some dirt in the past. Stuff like that just don't happen to you out the blue. It's got to be you reaping something. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, nope. I don't feel nothing. Sorry, you asking the wrong one. If you wanted my sympathy, sorry.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and we probably talk about that. Next time too. You know, but because and I don't want this one to be long. You know, I've been taking up too much time doing these lives. So we're going to try to make these ones less long, like at least not 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Cool. We could do 2. That'd be cool. You know.
Yeah.
8 to 10:30, 8:30, 10:30 be cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna start putting a limit on like how long we be on here.
Okay.
But but yeah, we was talking about it the other day. It's this generation, how I know a lot of people feel like that a lot of the younger generation is disrespectful. It's hard to talk to them, so this is something that I think that we really need to talk about because it's important that like everything that's going on in our communities, is there something we can do about it, or is it just what it is, And I'm gonna play the video that I showed that that I sent, and then me and Cassidra was talking about it a little bit, but we're gonna talk about it more now. What's going on, Blanca? Let me see. All right, my bad. And if my computer mess up, then y'all forgive me.
Adults, right? Grown folk refuse to stop a fight with children that ended in a fatality. Put up the institution. I'm taking you to Los Angeles. A Washington preparatory high school student died in a fight that broke out in front of an adult who refused to stop it. After school on April 15th, the fight broke out a couple of blocks from the prep high school. In a cell phone video of the incident, an adult can be heard saying off camera just before the fight began, "Let them fight. Let them fight. If they want to fight, let them fight. Police, I'm not breaking up. Ish. I don't give a up." That's it. End quote. With millions watching and many people of the, quote, safe being was a member of the, quote, Safe Passages program designed to make sure students get to and from school unharmed. According to students and a senior union official, less than 10 seconds after the fight began, 3 shots rang out and the student was struck. He collapsed and was pronounced dead at the hospital. His name has not been released. President of the Associated Administrators of Los Angeles, Neri Piez, told LA Times, quote, "We preach to parents. We stress to parents that we are there and our priority is to the safety of the students. And that incident shows otherwise. Adding that 2 safe passages workers were in the video. Quote, and you can clearly hear the audio where the person said that he was not going to intervene. He said, let them fight if they want to fight. So that's a problem, end quote. The safe passages, who could be school employees, by the way, or volunteers, both are allowed to engage in the program, are in place to aid the students in deterring and de-escalating heated disputes and contacting law enforcement if needed. The Times describes, quote, they were just standing there watching. I feel like your job is to break up that stuff. That's what a student said, Pierre Clark, emphasizing that in school, nobody checks you when you walk in. Anybody can walk in there, anybody, and nobody would know. Jason Muck of the LA School Police Association believes a student may have had the gun on campus all week prior to the shooting. Quote, this is stuff that was brewing all week long, he said. And if we had an officer on campus, the officer, could have gotten wind of this, and maybe this could have been prevented. You know, unfortunately, you all don't have a great
track. All right, so and I'll say this, because this has been around for a long time. I know people when I was in school that used to bring guns to school. One of my friends, he a gun accidentally discharged while he was on the school bus, and of course he got expelled for that. But just the whole conversation we was having, Cassidra, you was when I brought that up, you was saying, you want to say what you were saying?
Oh Lord, you know what? I got a lot to say here and that. We still looking for the police to save us. You had 2 adults there that were supposed to be there to help with anything that popped off. That was their job, for one. That adult that said that should be fired. And for both of them should be. I'm going to just say it. Both of them should be. Okay. You had an adult talking about, I don't care. Well, why the hell are you there, for one? And this is where our men come in at. Because that right there, with a presence of a man that cared, a father, it wouldn't have happened. Because they would have been right there. Hey, y'all break this up. Y'all know how y'all boys are with men. When y'all dads come around, y'all straighten up, right? Or when a male's voice come around, you straighten up. That's a problem. That's a problem for a whole adult, 2 adults that was out there. One said I didn't care, and the other one didn't even bother to go to intervene. But then again, I'm going to look at it another way. The child had a gun. So therefore, intervening could have cost the adult's life also. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you have to search each and every last child before they get in that school, then you do just that. You make it an hour. Say school don't start till 8. You be here at 7 because we're gonna search everybody. Seriously. And every principal, every student, every parent, every teacher needs to be in that school to search those kids. If this is what we have to do, then that means y'all gonna have to get up early, come to class, be searched first. Then you can go in school. There's a way to stop all of this. Our kids are not lost. The adults are freaking lost. Because I just heard a woman say, I don't care. Let them fight. Now, I could look at that 2 ways. I'll rest my mic on that one. I have one more point. We act just like white folk with our children. We act just like them. They don't care, and we don't either. Okay, I rest my mic for real this time.
Shouts out to Bawana in the building. He said Anthony stopped drinking through the weekday. But yeah, what you think about that though, Anthony?
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna take you back a little bit. I remember I was at J.S. Clark Junior High School. I was about 15. I think I was 14, 15. No, I was 15. I was in 9th grade. I remember a young brother. His name was James Sherman. He had a problem, like some guys that tried to jump on him one day at school. We in junior high school now. Some guys he had got into it with some guys, some older guys. The next day, when he came to school, I don't know where he got it from home, I guess. He came to school and he had like a 357 Magnum. He had a big old gun. Now he didn't shoot nobody. But I remember when he came to school, cause see, I knew him, and like I knew people, I knew some of his family members, and I like talked to him. Hey man, man, y'all know, we called him Pepe. I said, man, Pepe he got a gun, man. And he was somebody. And this was way back in the '80s. This was 1982, way before we started hearing about school shooting. Now nothing didn't happen, but that was the incident, man. I always said, man, man, what if he'd have flipped and shot everybody? Just shot a whole bunch of people. Okay, that's one thing. The second part is this right here. I remember the time I told you when I got shot. And matter of fact, where I got shot at, I'm right here in the neighborhood now. I'm across the street from the housing projects where I got shot at. Okay. It first started off me and another brother was scrapping. As in another thing, matter of fact, the brother who I was scrapping with, I'm with his kinfolks now. Okay, we got to scrapping, and it was some people. It was a crowd. You know how it is, how we are in the hood. A crowd get around, two cats finna fight. Everybody like, and you had like, and let them fight. Let them fight. That's my auntie. Hey man, let them fight. But they was like, let them fight. Let them fight. You know what I'm saying? They scrapping, man. Let them fight. Let them get it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of somebody trying to come and stop it. And you know what I told you, man? My homeboy pulled out a pistol and shot me, man. Pulled out a pistol and shot me. Now, we alcohol was involved. We went thinking in our right mind. But I kept remembering. I remember it vividly, man, because you remember shit when you get a bullet in your ass. You know what I'm saying? That there was people around who could have came and stopped it. But you know what they said? Let them fight. And it made me think about what he was just saying. I don't give a damn what happened. No, we gotta get to that point where we stop hating each other, man, and like, well, we just like let them fight. You know what I'm saying? Well, somebody gonna be the big man or the big woman and say, hey, look here, y'all need to cut that out. And I understand, it's hard when that testosterone flowing and men are acting crazy, stupid like we always be doing when we get full of drinks and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just vividly remember that Negroes standing around there. There were some people like, y'all stop it. But it was Negroes running around there, somebody let them fight. You know what I'm saying? And that fight evolved into some gunplay where I got shot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that hit kind of a little bit close right there. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta as men, we gotta do better than that though, man. We gotta do better. I mean, when we see brothers getting into it, man, we got to in a situation like that, we gotta, hey man, look here. Cause at one time when we was growing up, when I was growing up, Cassidra was growing up, a fist fight was cool. But see, it ain't no fist fights no more. Right now, they'll shoot your ass. Play now. But yeah, and of course we need to be able to resolve our stuff, peacefully, man. And we need people. And sometimes you need people who are willing to like intervene in that kind of thing, or willing to be the voice and say, hey man, look here. Hey y'all, that ain't for y'all, man. Cut that out. Cause Negroes, how we is and the egos and and I don't want nobody to think I'm a punk and you don't want nobody to think you're a punk and I'm scary. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, yeah, that that means a lot to me, man. They hit real close to home, man. I leave it at 4K.
All right. And shouts out to Raw in the building. I appreciate it. Blanca said, my thing is how you don't look at life as valuable. Why is it so easy to take someone's life? That's a good question, and I think that a lot of us don't look at our own lives as valuable. And this we can like mirror that with somebody else who looks like us. So if I don't feel like my life is valuable, then yours damn sure ain't, kind of mentality. And that's why I think we really have that smoke for us, but nobody else. And this is what I want to ask you before we go to the next one, right? Because this conversation, I remember having this conversation even with, I remember like when Bakari, he was like, his house got shot up by, and he, was fed up with the youth. And, I understand why he was like, I wouldn't let my daughter go to a graduation party because, they're out there wilding, and I totally get that, you know.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. Please forgive me, brother. I just want. Okay, I'm gonna go home now. See, I'm at somebody else's house, but I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna go home. And when I go home, I'm gonna rejoin the podcast.
All right, that's cool.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, so consider even with that whole thing, I understand what he was saying, you know, and it does bring up like a good question, you know, because sometimes people ask like, well, what if somebody did intervene and you know that young kid had a gun, or young child, or whatever, that student had a gun, and what if that person got hurt, you know, and you know, should they try to stop it, or like, you know what I'm saying, consider?
How about this? How about we stop it before it gets to that point? When you see them beefing, you bring them, because I know somebody saw the beef. It just didn't happen today. You know what I'm saying? So who ignored it? Because this was something that's probably been going on for, for maybe, probably started a couple days or whatever. So when you first see that, you bring them, hey, come on, let's go over here. Let's, because I remember back in the day, they would take you to the gym, you and him and a teacher, and let y'all box it out. That's back in the day, way back in the day, right? But if you don't do something like that, then bring them in to see, okay, what's going on? Let's squash this. We brothers, we have to have those pep talks. We cannot give up on our children. We have to continue having those pep talks, but we also have to have them in an environment where people care, because they're in an environment right now. You know it and I know it. Don't nobody give a damn about our children. Parents don't even care sometimes. And these are your badass children that y'all done let loose and you're working 16 hours. You don't have time for them. They bad as I don't know what. You glad for them little things to go to school because you getting a break. But then you didn't let your parenting duties go. Now somebody like myself, I could be in a store. A kid walks up to me. He goes, "Move." Oh, I had a fit. I'm like, wait a minute. I had to look around, see who we talked to. I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Where your mom at?" I sure did. "Where your mom at?" So take me to your mother right now. Take me around there to his mom. I said, "Ma'am, let me tell you something." I said, "Now, your son was being disrespectful for one." I said, "But I blame you." I said, "Because he started this shit at home." That's what I told her. I said, "This is some of your parenting. This is your stuff right here." Because he probably talked to you like that at home and you did nothing about it. So now he comes to the store and I'm a stranger and he want to talk to me like I'm crazy, like he crazy. I said, "No, that ain't happening." I said, and then she started apologizing. "You ain't got to apologize. You need to apologize. He needs to apologize to you because he disrespected you. And you need to apologize to him for being a horrible mom because you didn't do your motherly duties so that he would understand how to treat a woman." Now that's a mama issue. That's a daddy issue. Somebody in your house is disrespecting you. So you got that from them. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't check him. I checked his mother, because that was a parenting issue right then and there. I wanted her to be embarrassed. I don't need you to apologize to me. I need you to check that right now. Because I had my daughter with me and her eyes got big. She's like, "Oh Lord, this boy don't know my mama right." So I checked him right there. I'm not scared of you. And I didn't think about no gun. Because, back in them days, we had, kids, we wasn't carrying no guns, a lot like that. But this is how important a man's presence is. And I'm telling you, this is an issue for our men to get paid. And I think the mayors ought to hire men, pay them $20, $25 an hour, and they can stay up at the school 5 or 6 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Do the mornings, the lunches, and after school. And 3 different men, 3 different men for 6 different times, or 9 different times. What, 3, 6 different men, right? So we have to do something. We can't just sit up here and see stuff and don't fix it. We're just allowing this problem to go. This needs to be fixed, because I see it getting a whole lot worse. It's getting to a point where it's going to be bad. It's not going to be good for our children at all. I rest my mic.
Yeah, I agree. And because I understand, what people be saying, because I get it sometimes, like, but that, like, I think the youth has always been the youth, and we're gonna get into that more, in a little bit. But I understand though, because I get that sometimes there are people who out here wilding out, you know what I'm saying? There are sociopaths who get created in your environment. But at the end of the day, it's your environment and nobody is going to help. Because like when we talk about, even when we have this conversation, you know, like you think about the 20 or 30 or 50, you know, young black teenagers who's out there wilding out, but then we forget about the 450 other ones who's not, or 300 other ones who is just trying to, you know, live life and live regular, you know what I'm saying? And so like when you don't take control of your community, you know, nobody is, of course, like the police not, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then of course we're all one big Negro, like, but if you're not making sure, like, okay, you take that drugs over there to that Italian or Asian neighborhood, but don't bring it over here, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody's not doing that, then you're going to keep losing generations, you know? And even as far as like when you don't take care of the situation, is going to keep manifesting and growing, and then the next generation is not going to have the knowledge, so they're going to have to learn from scratch because the information is not getting passed down from one generation to the next for some reason, you know. And I'm gonna show you this, Cassidra. Let's see. And this is in Baltimore. So they say Baltimore residents beg for help.
At the bus stop outside Mondawmin Mall today, there was anger in the air as teens brace for a fight.
These kids have nothing to do.
It was a similar scene outside Mondawmin on Monday when officers chased and cuffed another teenager. Over the weekend, violence erupted inside the mall, where a 7-year-old girl was shot in the stomach.
Every day there's some mayhem like this. That's why you see all the Maryland State Police cars.
And I don't understand how this could happen here and be allowed. But if we were in a different zip code, it would have never happened. We're asking for police substations right here in the mall.
There should be a Department of Social Services substation here. There should be a Department of Human Resources substation here.
These kids are in need. They are walking trauma, and that's coming through my neighborhood. Police should be walking all through here.
So as you saw there, you saw.
All right, what do you think about that, Cassidra?
They want the police to do their damn jobs. Why your ass ain't out there? Them your damn children. You don't go to tell no police. You know the police gonna kill them. So what is possessing these black folk to count so much on police officers who in the past has 96 times, right? They just killed a young man, shot him 96 times and blamed him for his own death, right? He driving in his car, minding his business, and gets shot 96 times and you blame him. Make it make sense. I'm blaming them parents out there. Where them daddies at? They ain't the police. No, daddies, do your job. Daddies, get back in them home. Daddy, come get your son. That's what's going on. Let's be honest here. We're not being honest. These are parenting issues. Kids just don't come up bad. It comes from somewhere. When we were little, you'd hang around, you see this little boy, you see at least one out of 10. You see him, you knew because his mom wasn't there, daddy wasn't there, mom was on drugs, daddy was in jail, and he was just bad. You just knew little Roro was going to jail. Little Ray Ray was going to jail. You already knew. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, Ray Ray was in jail, and it wasn't his fault. That's a parenting issue. You mean none of his aunts and uncles could have took him in when his mom was on crack? Daddy's in jail because of your president Biden wrote a Biden's law that locked half of our black families up, that separated the black families? No family member could take them kids in or that child to make sure, hey, come on over here, Ray Ray. I know, mama going through some stuff, daddy is too, come on over here. Even before Ray Ray got to where he was, when you seen him 4 and 5, and he started acting out. Ray Ray, we're not doing that. Come on over here, baby. I got you. You understand what I'm saying? So we stopped it before it blew up. You see behaviors, you stop it right then and there. When they 5 and 6, kids are good. When they turn 6, 7, well, usually it's 10, right? 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, they start acting out, right? Because they, daddy's not there. Okay, let me call your daddy. What's wrong with the fathers? What's wrong with, and some of these daddies, no, you know, you got babies across the street. You ain't been over there to see them babies in what, 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Baby ain't seen you since birth, and he 10 now. Shame on you. But you over there taking care of Karen's kids. Shame on you. This is a Black family issue. I don't give a dang on what nobody else, what other coaches are doing. I'm telling you that this is a Black family's issue. Ain't no reason for somebody to sit up there, oh, you need to call social service. No, you need to get your Black ass back home and raise your son. That's what you need to do. And these women with these boys, when they turn 10, you turn them over to their dads. Period. Because women, we have been doing it since forever. We cannot continue to create what look at this. This is a mess. But guess what? When the kings aren't in their places, the whole house is in shambles, right? When you are in your place, then that man is going to keep that family. He's going to keep that son. He's going to keep that woman in line. The whole family is going to straighten up and fly right. But when you got an absence of a dad and the mom is in the place of the dad, that's out of order right there. So guess what? The whole family is out of order. And they knew what they was doing by putting the men out of the homes. This was what your government did. They knew the effects of not having a dad. They did it on purpose. But we know what they've done. We see the results, and we still not going to do anything about it. We're going to rely on police officers to come and kill our babies when all it is a family issue, a Black family issue, a Black dad that's not there, a Black mom who said the dad couldn't hang around the kids, so he just gave up and don't come at all. No, you don't give it up like that. You the man. Well, she won't let me see my son. What the hell you sound like? Is that your child? Yeah, but she won't. What you mean she? Who's in charge? Y'all sound like a bunch of punks when I hear men say this. What do you mean she won't let you? God put you in charge of that family. That's some punk stuff right there. That's not acceptable. What are you showing your son? That's a bunch of anger. We're dealing with some very angry, traumatized children. And you know why I say traumatized? Because you got them in their schools. And you see that baby, how he was rounding white folk? They thought they was doing something dead. See what I'm saying? That's trauma. What was they doing to him before he died? How was they treating him in their school before he died? You think about you having your kids around them crackers all day and all night, that they learning something? They being hurt emotionally, mentally, and sometimes physically. And we still don't get this. We still don't understand this. We still willing to give them our children every day. That's some mental illness stuff right there. So you can't point your fingers at the child. Point them at yourself. Because we dealing with mental illness right now. I rest my mic.
Well, yeah, you said it better than I could say. You know, I agree with everything you said. And shouts out to Blanca. She said, I raised 2 men that never been in trouble, never been arrested, not even in the streets. And they live in Chicago, West Side, and raised them by herself. Shouts out to Blanca. Real talk, it begins at home. Blanca said, I'm the only my boys are afraid of what I would do if they get out of line, and still scared, and they're in their 20s and 30s, you know. Shouts out to Rod. We take in many youths because they left behind for them parents looking for an easier life. Yeah, definitely. Some dads don't need to be around. My kid's dad was trouble and not good for anyone to be around.
Okay, even with that, wait a minute. With that statement right there, even with that, Blanca, I love you. I love you. But guess what? It's time for us Black women to start vetting these men and vice versa. Because we got some bad Black women out there and we got some bad Black men. And we have got to get us together so that we can stop attracting the wrong type of men. Seriously, we can't continue blaming, hey, well, okay. We always, and I told my daughters, and let's go there. Hey, y'all, let's get some help. Because I knew what product, I knew where I came from. I knew their dad, what he was. I knew that. I knew that my mom was raped. I was a product of rape. I knew it was dysfunction. Okay, I'm going to deal with the dysfunction. I didn't make them, but I suggested. let's go get some help. Therapy, I guarantee you, therapy works. It works. And too many Black folk not using it. Too many Black folk not getting the help that they need. Too many Black folk got EAP on their jobs and won't even go. Don't even, you got it and don't even know what the heck it is. No, we can't stop. We got to stop blaming it, because it's time for us to get the help we need so that we can pick better men and mates for our babies. And stop having mates babies with these men. You already know. Sometimes you already know these men ain't worth a dang on when you dating them. We have to stop. We got to. I rest my mic.
No, yeah, I understand. And this is what I'm saying. Like, all of this is a whole conversation, you know.
A whole conversation.
Right.
Yes.
You know,
and it takes us from, because I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to interrupt you,
No,
but it takes us having that in our schools. If we had our own babies in our own schools, we could implement mental health day, mental health Monday, and that's a mental health day. It's not even about homework. It's not even about schoolwork. It's about our mental health, and that's all we doing that day. We talking. We going from class to class. Mental health hygiene day, Monday. You got hygienes. Let's teach you how to dress. Let's teach you how to parent. Let's teach you what a father, what's a mom's job. That's the day that's that mental health day. We have to start somewhere. And I understand, sweetie, you said you were 17. I got it. Trust me, I got it. Because my first husband wasn't about nothing. Poor thing. Rest his soul, or not, whatever. I'm just saying. But guess what? I learned from that one. And I said, hold on. We're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. I was not going to allow my daughters to end up with somebody like their dad. And I knew what they was looking at. And he should have known better, because he had his mom and dad. But his dad, he got it from his dad. His dad wasn't worth 2 pennies. You understand what I'm saying? But I didn't know that. I think, oh my God, he got his mom and dad. I'm looking for, okay, he should know. That dude, didn't know nothing. I could have got somebody with no daddy. It would have been better than that. You understand what I'm saying? But I didn't know that. But I said, well, I'm not passing this down. I'm not. This is what I need you to do, ladies. And that's when I told my daughter, this is what I need you guys to do. Because these are conversations we don't talk about. If we're educating our own babies, a lot of this right here, we wouldn't even be facing this. This is our stuff. This is our problem. We can't blame white folks no more, because we know what's going on in them schools, and we won't lift a finger. We'll sit up there and pass it on to search services. Do you hear the man? Call social service. We should have social service down here. We should have a police officer down here. We know your black ass should be in the house teaching your son how to be a man. Or you go to a class to learn for yourself. Then you can teach him. But if you're going to blame it on social service, you're still not taking blame for yourself. It's time for black men and women to take blame for themselves, for our children acting the way they acted. This is nobody else's fault but ours. This is real talk right here. Can't no woman teach no boy how to stand up and pee. I can't teach my son how to piss. That takes a man. What am I gonna do? Stand up and do what? Watch over. Come on now. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to teach him? These are things this is small stuff. But they rather lead them boys with them women and not want to take care of your own child and blame the woman why he didn't come out right. No blame for yourself. No blame for yourself. Because if you was there, a lot of stuff that he got away with her, he wouldn't have got away with, because you'd have checked that behavior. If you was the type of man that you should have been and cared about your son. These are some serious conversations here. But no, you rather blame her. Well, she raised him. Well, what the hell was you? Who's a failure for real, for real? At least she stayed. She did her part. Did you do yours? I rest my mic. I'm going to try to rest it for a minute. Go ahead, Forecast.
No, you're good. No, you're going in. This is the point, because that's a real conversation, because and I understand, because when we're young, we all straight up and make a lot of mistakes and all of that. But that's another reason why it's important to be in the schools, not because you're not going to help everybody, but if you educate enough people or give the resources to the ones who are there who want it, it's a whole different story. And like once we make, like, you know, it's up to us to, like, you know, do what we have to do, of course, you know what I'm saying? It's just because it's like we all understand that it's by design, so we're gonna have to by design undo it, you know what I'm saying? Because anything that can be done can be undone, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, we can undo this. Anytime we get ready, we can undo this. But do we really want to be honest about it? Do we really want to take the blame and say, okay, I apologize. Let me apologize to my son for not being there. Let me go call my daughter right now and apologize because now she got daddy issues because daddy not there. She don't know what kind of man to grab hold to. So she grabbing a rock, something, a lizard. She grabbing whatever she can, a woman, because the dad is not there, wasn't there. Nobody built her up. Nobody taught her what kind of man, because that's what daddies do. They teach their little girls what kind of men to attract to themselves. If you're not there, then they go get a woman, or they go get whoever, a thug, the baddest thing on the street, because he pays her some attention when you should have been there paying her attention.
Yeah, facts. Shouts out to Oni in the building. I appreciate it. Said my boys don't want any kids. My grandkids are rabbit and a snake. Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I agree with okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, straight facts. Shouts out to Bukari in the building. He said my grandkid flies. My boy Messi. All right. But yeah. Now this brings up another conversation. Now I talked about it, and you know, we did, like, you know, I guess, like, and now is, you know, convenient Bakari show up now, because even when I showed this, and I was like, man, we maybe need to do something about getting back into the schools. And it is hard to get some brothers to do it, and some people go through their own organizations, and I just support that, you know what I'm saying? But some people do say, like, well, I'm not going into, like, because they crazy. Like, you a grown man, you know what I mean? Like you were saying, nobody can let you be a man. Like, you know what I'm saying? If somebody letting you be a man, then that's not really what a man is, you know what I'm saying? Until somebody say you're not, you know. But this happened last year here in Richmond, you know. Now, this is, if y'all remember, the graduation shooting, which is like crazy, where the young brother went up there. But I want you to see, like, what really happened. They just released this.
Merging of the tragic day in June when shots rang outside of a graduation. You're watching 8 News at 6. I'm Deanna Albritton.
I'm Eric Phillips. We have team coverage tonight on these new videos. We'll start with 8 News reporter Sierra Krug, who was at the courthouse all week long. And Sierra, what did the judge have to say about this case?
Well, Eric, the judge admitted this was a, quote, factually complicated case. Before pleading guilty to first-degree murder, Pollard's legal team argued the shooting was in self-defense. The Commonwealth painted a picture of the victim, Sean Jackson, walking away from an altercation with Pollard, and then Pollard, unprompted, shooting directly at him from behind. Whereas according to Pollard's testimony, Jackson and his group, including a second victim, Renzo Smith, had threatened him, grabbed him, and began chasing him. He says only then did he fire the weapon.
They said they were gonna kill me. I panicked. I'm sorry. You're okay. I'm not gonna kill me. Are they saying we can do?
Chilling moments after Amari Pollard fatally shot Huguenot High School graduate Sean Jackson last June. A day of celebration and joy ending in the worst way imaginable for multiple Richmond families. 4 guns recovered at the scene, 7 people shot, 2 lives lost. 8 months later, the now 20-year-old pleaded guilty to first-degree murder, but only after already going through 4 days of a high-profile jury trial. His legal team pushing a self-defense argument, a large part hinging on officer body camera footage from after the incident.
It's my first time ever doing anything. Look, if someone threatened to kill you, we will talk about it.
Prior to the abrupt guilty plea, more than 10 prosecution witnesses testified, but Pollard himself took the stand too. We've heard multiple perspectives of what happened. Now, for the first time, we're seeing FBI-compiled footage providing a clearer picture, starting around 3 p.m., a couple hours before the shooting. The video confirms statements that Jackson's stepfather, the second person who died that day, Lorenzo Smith, went back to his car near the end of the graduation ceremony, Witnesses say he retrieved 2 firearms. Later, just minutes before the shooting, you see Sean Jackson celebrating, hugging loved ones, then disappearing into Monroe Park. Smith follows behind. Critical moments later, the point where the story changes between parties, video shows shooter Amari Pollard running through a crowd. Jackson and Smith appear to be running behind him, seemingly consistent with Pollard's testimony that he was being chased. Jackson diverts his path, ending up in front of the shooter. Now is when multiple weapons are drawn. Pollard shoots at Jackson as Smith remains behind him with his gun out too. Jackson was not armed. Unfortunately, the moments immediately preceding are not captured on camera, and they were crucial. You'll recall Jackson's family says he was walking towards them when he was shot from behind. At the stand, Pollard said Jackson had threatened to crush him. A mob formed, a brawl broke out, leading to him being chased and fearing for his own life. This statement matching Pollard's comments to an officer immediately after the incident. The next clip you do see is Pollard running into a parking garage, dropping the gun and wrapping his arms around this security officer. Minutes later, a visibly distraught Pollard cries to another officer, begging for protection.
I'm not saying I have to go. No, you gotta wait. Please. Look, man, just sit down. The police no one can turn myself in. I will keep you safe. I swear. All my life, I will die before you do.
Pollard's sudden guilty plea yesterday came abruptly after the judge said he did not think there was a valid self-defense argument. He emphasized that Sean Jackson was shot 6 times, asking at what point after Jackson hit the ground the defendant was going to stop shooting. Pollard teared up at the stand. The victim's family members sobbed throughout the trial too, officials acknowledging the case was tragic on many levels.
It'll be okay. It's gonna be okay.
All right. One more thing, Cassidra, before you go in on this. I just want to show you one more part to it, because they are talking about the graduations and stuff this year. Damn it! What the hell? Damn.
Wait a minute, hold on, forecast. Let me see. Hard Code said black guys, seem to get a kick out of shooting in public. Bringing guns to events and clubs means that you can't wait to start some trouble, even if there is none. You mean like Kyle Rittenhouse? Are we talking about them? Are we talking about Dylan Roof? Are we talking about the guy that shot up the New York supermarket? Is that who you're talking about, Hard Code? Okay. I just wanted to see something. Okay. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Thank you, forecast.
No, yeah, you're all good. You're all good. So, and I want to just play this because they're talking about,
More work needs to be done about school safety after Richmond public school officials announced new measures for graduation ceremonies this spring. This after last month's guilty verdict in the Huguenot graduation shooting last year. 8 News reporter Jamal Williams has the latest.
Richmond school officials are implementing new measures to try and improve safety during graduation season. I spoke with Richmond parent Charlene Riley, who says that these rules are just a bandage for a much bigger problem.
After last year's deadly shooting following Huguenot High School's graduation ceremony, Richmond public school officials implemented several changes regarding safety. In a 14-page document, key points such as ceremony venues, extra security, and no re-entry after leaving were added for upcoming ceremonies in May. But not everyone is on board.
It's not the school's problem to deal with every issue that's brought in from the community.
Richmond parent Charlene Riley has a daughter graduating John Marshall High School next year. She feels the root of these issues are not being addressed.
You can provide security at the graduation, but what about outside of the graduation? What about doing regular school hours? We need to solve and get to the root of the culture of why we bringing guns to school.
Riley says pouring.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there, Cassidra. So yeah, what you think about that whole thing right there?
See, this is right here. See what I'm saying? Now they're trying to put some things in place, but like she said, this is a community problem. This is a community problem. We're talking about our children. We're not talking, we're talking about what we as Black parents need to do, because those other folks are going to do what they're going to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? They kids can shoot up schools. They kids can shoot up, nurseries and blow up nurseries and, shoot up Walmart. We're talking about our Black children. You know what I'm saying? It's up to the parents and it's up to the fathers to do better. We need our own schools. It's not going to be taken care of in their schools. It can only be taken care of in our schools because they're not going to let us implement anything. Because I just told you, I tried to get a group of guys in the school here, and I was told no. We have programs. Okay, well, these are programs that you've had all the time, and they're not working. So you don't want anybody else from the outside to come in and help because you like it the way it is. And these are white folk. These are white situations, white systems that set up for our babies. Okay. We don't expect white folk to care about our babies. We should never expect that. Okay. This is a Black problem, and we need our own Black schools so we can teach our babies their Black culture, their Black history, and help them to understand who they really are. Once they understand who they really are, because right now they don't know who they are. They don't know that they're kings. They don't know that they came from royalty. They don't know their history. Teach them their history of who they really are, because we are the chosen, whether people know it or not. But if you know your history, you'll learn and understand who Black folk really are. We know, but we just want to ignore it. They know who we are. But now we need to know, and we need to start teaching our children. Once we start teaching our children our history, then guess what? I do believe, and I'm also going to say, once we put our men back in the schools, because I do believe that we need to pay our men to show up. We need to pay our men to show up in some of these schools. If that's what it's going to take, then we need to show up. We need to have our men come into schools every day so that we can, start putting down some laws, start putting some things back in place. That's the way. That's the only way it's going to change. We can say, oh, it's not about color. It's always about color. Because if it wasn't about color, they wouldn't have torn down. They wouldn't have burned down your Black communities. They wouldn't have burned down your Black schools. They wouldn't have burned down your Black hospitals. They wouldn't have loaded your Black cities with water. They wouldn't have built highways. Everything you see was done on purpose. And we have to understand that. We have to understand that. I rest my mic.
Yeah, I agree what you're saying, and let me say this, because I'm a product of quote unquote Richmond public schools, and so I understand like how it is, like like we have like school shootings or nothing. It was like 95% Black, but people brought guns to school, put it in their lockers. Eventually they put it in the metal detectors, but you just open the side door and they come in, so I understand how all of that, goes. And that's why I'm like, even in our city, because yeah, you're right. They have like certain programs, and especially like public is a government thing. It's Richmond Public Schools, so it is extremely difficult unless you have like some kind of big backing behind you or something, maybe, but it is other avenues, and then there's other brothers who I try to reach out. But I'm not gonna lie, because when you go to some of these schools, like what was John Marshall and TJ and Huguenot and all of that, is mostly Black, and like it was wilder back. Like, we're gonna get to that, and by the way, if somebody want to come on, give us a few minutes, because we only got a little bit of time, and I want to get to the other part, because I understand what people saying, but I also don't think that this generation is nearly was tripping the way that we was back in my like when I was going to school. They are like not on that level, but that's a whole nother thing, But at the same time, even when it comes to this, like we still have to do stuff for like the youth that go to schools in these areas. I know around here is like Jackson Ward, you can reach out to like I see brothers over there trying to do stuff. I haven't been over there, but but of course I have family that live in these areas, so I get it, and I don't want to make it seem like, oh, all Black people or all of the Black youth is just a problem.
Oh no, never that. We would never say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we see that there is a problem, and that's the area that we're trying to address. No, our babies are amazing. Yeah, it's just a few, but those are the few that are, and it's a lot of boys, and it's because of the father issue. That's the biggest problem right there. If we could just get our men to get back in the homes, or at least start paying attention and being a dad to your sons, even if you're not with the woman. At 10, you go and get him and you raise him the rest of the way. She can't do it all. And you look around you, she can't do it by herself. Some of these kids going to a babysitter when their dad is across the street and doing absolutely nothing. You don't need a babysitter if the dad is there. You drop him off at his dad's house, period.
Right. And also, like what you say, because and my grandmother, she did this. Like she would watch because I lived in a black neighborhood. It was like it wasn't the hood. It was like it wasn't a rich neighborhood. It was like a lower middle class where both my parents had to work every day. But my grandmother made money by watching the children in the neighborhood. Like the babies and the youth and all of that. And they paid her to do that. And then even when you talk about that kind of thing, because it starts even then, because like, I don't know about y'all with these daycares, I don't have children or nothing like that, but like, I'll be like kind of feeling some type of way about putting them in a daycare.
I would never put my child in a daycare, ever. Do you hear me? Ever. I'm telling you, when I just wouldn't do it. Even when I had private sitters, I went and I interviewed them. I let them know she better come home the same way I brought her. You understand what I'm saying? And I never gave them my schedule. I dropped her off and I went back and checked and I did house checks, and you never knew when I was coming. I kept her on her toes. Seriously, because I'm coming. You're not going to hurt mine for free. I guarantee you. But I did let her know what kind of parent I was. I'm not one of them, no. She better come home the same way I brought her. But here we go again. It's all about the parenting. It's all about parenting. But we have to get back to understanding the parenting issues that we have, that we face even now. Because it's hard to know how to parent when you came from slavery. When massa, would have babies by these different women and would sell the babies off. Or you had a man on a slave, on a plantation, and he was made to breed all of these babies. So you didn't have your dad. You didn't even know your dad, because one day you look up, you by yourself at 2 years old, you sold off, you stolen, or fed to an alligator. You know what I'm saying? Or your child is gone, and that baby is raising themselves at another plantation. So it started way back. This is why history is so important, so that we can understand and help other people understand, where did it all begin? It all began in the beginning when we came from Africa, when we came from the foundation, from the motherland. That's where it started. And then you had our men making on baby farms. They called them baby farms. I know they had another name, but that's what they were. They were baby farms. You had one man that fathered 1,000 children. You know what I'm saying? And died that way. So where was the fathers at? So how do I learn how to be a father if I never had one? And we passing it down from generation to generation. We're passing a lot of trauma down from generation to generation. You're talking about a group of people that never got healing, that never, ever got reparations for the debt that's owed, for atrocities that was done to us, for our babies being fed to alligators, for pregnant women, babies being cut out of their stomachs. We never got restitution for that, reparations for that. That's a debt owed. Everybody else we look at got restitution, reparations, but we don't. We didn't. People look at black folk and they say, "Oh, we don't need to give them niggas nothing." Yes, you do. That's a debt owed. So yeah, you do. So you have to go way back. You can't look at today, what you're seeing today. Then we had some help. Then your government came in. Your government dropped drugs in our neighborhood. Okay. Then the government said, "Okay, ladies, I want y'all to take this EBT, kick your men out. Men don't have jobs." Then they start doing drugs. Then they start selling drugs. And now here we go into prison. So it's all part of the systematical racist system that we're living in America. And when I hear people say America's not racist, then you don't know your history. This was never a Christian country. And when I hear people say that, I'm bothered by that. So it's all up to us to get back on track. How do I do that? I do it by opening up our own schools and having that therapy day on Mondays. Monday is heart-to-heart day. Monday is us understanding our history. Monday is us being taught how to be mothers, how to be fathers. And some of those classes need to be taught by men. because that's called mentorship for our boys, mentorship for our girls. Our girls need that contact with male figures. Then you won't have father issues. We had a lot of father issues, but we didn't get here by ourselves. Let's not forget. But we can fix it, but it's going to take work. So who's ready to work? That's the question. Who's ready to do the work? I'll rest my mic.
Yeah, facts. I agree. You know, so let me see. I was gonna play one of this. He said, y'all remember when the kid fought the teacher? They was like, you know, one of the reasons why we lose good black teachers. And this brother is sitting here talking about, you know, the only one that disrespect me are the black kids. I don't believe that's true, though. You know.
Oh hell no, that's not.
Yeah.
That's that's the ones you let. No, that's not true. I've seen how these white kids act. They ain't got no sense either. But we're not even talking about them. They unruly and they killing up folk, killing up their mamas, killing up the daddies. That ain't got nothing to do. We not talking about that. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, because so I'm gonna let instead of playing them, I'm gonna just play this. This is what I got played a while ago, but you know.
I'm calling out all the parents. If you're a parent and your child is in pre-K to elementary school to high school, I'm calling you out. The children today, I have never experienced, and I'm 22. Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. I teach 5-year-olds ballet, 5-year-old girls ballet. I have a class of 10 students. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. They're throwing things at each other. They're throwing things at other people, other classmates. You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You confront the parent. The parent tries to argue with you and fuss at you because you tried to reprimand and redirect their kid. I told a young little girl, please sit in your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay. When her mom came to pick her up, I said, hey, your daughter's having a hard time following instructions. And 7 times today, I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly she didn't want to sit. And mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to sit right there. So, I mean, if she's telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it. What world do we live in? Like, what in you guys' brain as a parent says, my kid not following any directions is a great thing. It's not that serious. And y'all don't have a right to tell her what to do. It's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And another thing that's heart-wrenching is horrifying. It is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town and Ski Yee. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music. And they are asking me, can we hear Pound?
Okay. Issue.
Okay. Go ahead.
Issue. Okay. For one, she does not have the strength to handle our babies. For two, they know she's weak. You think if I was teaching that class that they would have said that back to me? I'm being honest. Do you really think that if I was teaching that class that I would have told her to sit down and she just said no? Do you really believe that? You have to go in with these kids a certain way. They're not going to listen to her because of her tone. She has no bass in her voice, for one. They know that they can run over her because they saw a child do it. The first child that did it, she should have checked that first child, and the rest of them would have fallen in line. You have to use one as an example, and you have to put some bass in your voice. You look at them. It's that look. That mama look still works. Trust and believe me. Trust and believe. There was some kids in the store and they was running. I gave them one of them looks, sit down somewhere. And they weren't mine, but I sure did say it. Because you running over my feet over here. You about to knock me over. Sit down somewhere. And they look, girl coughing, all of this everywhere. I said, baby, cover your mouth. You think I don't? Oh, I'm going to train them. I don't care if they mine or not. If I see it, I'm going to say something. And you have a little bass in your voice. And they listen. You have to know how to deal with children. She's 22. She probably, oh, little baby, oh my goodness. That's you see the difference in the voices, right? They're not listening to that. And now she's mad. No, you got to understand how to teach our babies. You shouldn't have had to go to the mama. You don't go to the mama. What you going to the mama for? You handling your class. You handling your business. She should have been the utmost respectful in your class, and you should have held her foot to the fire. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not what happened. You're not listening to her. Now rest my mic.
Oh yeah, that's all facts. You know, I can see it now. They could be like, oh, if they tell Miss Cassidra, shut up, Miss Cassidra.
That would have never come out their mouth, guaranteed. Trust and believe. That would have never came out their mouth. Because I'd have went in there and I'd have put some order down. This is what we're doing and this is what we're not doing. That right there, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I was just saying.
Ross says it takes a village to raise a child. You know, she said Blanca says she's a kid who's going to listen to a 20-year-old who sound like them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and she is crying. And these is kids. Imagine if she went to middle school or high school or something like that.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Oni said, consider teaching can't always be friends.
Oni, you need to get with my email. I need to talk to you. I'm gonna give you my email in the chat, okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So all right, we already talked about
customer journey maps
stuff, so we're gonna
say no one's gonna have space.
Talk about it. You know, with the black youth that's like kind of out of control and stuff like that. I did show these young people before, but like a lot of people have problems, so I want to show the other side, you know, with these young brothers here, what they call Atlanta's water boys. Because I saw the entrepreneur side, but you know, they try to be like these young brothers is a hassle, you know.
You may know about the water boys in Atlanta.
Bro, you can't blame me one time.
In the news for years, doing whatever it takes to sell water on the side of the road. But people are getting tricked.
Oh my God, why is this happening to me?
Getting swindled out of hundreds of dollars as soon as they roll down their car window. I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. Or Gatorade to drivers at busy intersections. Even the celebrities get stopped. From Meek Mill.
Yo, I just gave y'all money, man.
Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah, blue one, quit playing.
And Boozy.
Nah, go ahead. I mean, probably pop you off. I gave you a blue yesterday.
It can be a dangerous gig, though. In 2020, an 18-year-old was shot and killed in Midtown Atlanta selling water. In another case, in 2021, one of the water boys was seen on video firing at a man who refused to buy water. But what police say is now worrisome is what some of the water boys have been doing to people's Cash App accounts.
You know all about the water boys.
The tag. So all the cars are lined up, and I look around and I see the water boys.
She's a star college volleyball player and was heading to an important meeting. They approach and she agrees to buy a $5 Gatorade. She didn't have cash though, so they push her to send a Cash App payment.
I'm typing in, no name comes up. So like, oh, it's so-and-so. They keep repeating it. So then the guy leans in my car and was like, oh, I got you. So as he's typing it, you know, he's complimenting me, sweet talking. I'm already in a good mood. So now you boosted my confidence.
All right,
so
you see why.
Crystal, look at your phone. So I look at my phone at the next red light. I see they sent themselves $200. I paid $200
for a Gatorade. It's hot.
No, so I'm gonna stop there. Consider, you want to say something about this, or we can skip it.
No, go ahead. Oh my God.
No, yeah.
Wow. Oh wow, man, go ahead.
You know, I would go ahead and skip this because, like I said, we was already talking about our youth. But um, like, you know, if we're not going to address the reasons why people are out there trying to like do stuff for like money, you know, and not create the opportunities such as, like, you know, like Roam in the Bush create opportunities to get employment for the youth or the young people who, like, as Bakari would say, who's graduating from high school, or those of you who feel like the youth who's in prison. We all got to eat, you know. And the reason why a lot of them, number one, is easy to sell out because you're hungry, and somebody be like, "Here go $100." All you got to do is just say after this, and then they'll be like, "All right, I can do that." But also, you're not creating opportunities and lanes, so, you know, ultimately, that you start to eat yourself, you know. I think, you know. But consider, you want to say something before I go to the last one, then and if anybody want to come on, but I want to say one more thing after this, and then if anybody want to
I
come
do.
on.
I want to say just one thing. I'm looking at in our Black communities areas. I'm not calling them communities, but I see where the YMCA is closed. The unemployment rate for our youth in the summertime is skyrocket. They don't have jobs. They have no after school. I remember when we were coming up, we had after school programs. Remember, we stayed after school. They had basketball. They had track. They had all football. They had all kind of activities. Right. The summertime, the schools was open. We used to go swimming. We used to, you know, have lunches. We used to have summer recreation. Remember that? They don't do that anymore. And also the YMCA, YMCA, and the men's club, all of that was open. We could drop our kids off while we worked. And in the summertime, they had something to do Monday through Friday. They played basketball all day. They did all kind of activities. What is there for our children to do today? They are creating employment. They're creating entrepreneurship for themselves. Who's training them? Why is there not a foundation? Come on, let's be honest. That is saying, hey, come on over here. We're going to be open in summertime. We got churches that could be open in summertime. Bring them in there. Put a basketball hoop in the church parking lot. What the hell are you doing with those churches anyway in the summertime? You're having one service, Bible study, vacation Bible school is what, a week now? It used to be several weeks, right? They don't even have anything. Churches could open up these schools for our babies, to, especially in the summertime. Drop your kids off here. We're going to play basketball. We're going to go camping. We're going to go bike riding. We're going to bring your bikes from home. We're going to do something. We don't do it. We don't entertain our own children. And then you work in 16-hour days and you think they're going to not get in trouble. You know what the government has done. They took the money out of our communities, put it in their communities. Because I tell you, my granddaughter was down here last summer, right? And you know, I had to go to the white area for her to swim. Why in the hell was the Y not open in my area for my granddaughter to go swimming too? Why did I have to take her into their area, into their swimming pools? Then we got there, they want to act funny. I got time today. Oh, I got time today. You understand what I'm saying? I shouldn't have had to do that. I should never had to go to another area. We had the same Y in my area. Where was the money that was supposed to go from my area? Where's the money? Aren't we mad? When they closing down the Ys, no parents saying anything. You don't have nothing. Nobody's going up to the mayor's office. Nobody's saying anything. Where are our children's jobs for the summer? And then you wonder why they're getting in trouble. That's done on purpose, people. That's done on purpose. I'll rest my mic. Go ahead.
Yeah. And like I said, they have all of that in Chicago. They would rather be in the streets, you know. And like I said, a lot of times people is like, you know, they coming up, they see their moms working 3-4 jobs, you know, like they might be in the hood, and then they like, yo, I gotta do this for my mom. Then you get desensitized once you start getting into that street life, and then, you know, like, nah, I ain't doing that now. Now you in that street life, but the whole time, right? If there is several steps, you know, to that thing where you have the education aspect, of course, you know, but that starts in the house, so you can start that. But then,
it starts in the home. I hear Blanca saying Chicago has that, but it starts young when you raising your children and they're doing as they're told. I'm gonna drop you off at this Y. I need you to stay up here. You leave this Y, you already know what's gonna happen. Seriously, let me just I used to drop my daughter. She used to love to read. I dropped her. Hey, Barnes and Nobles. Come on, let's go. Or you like to go to the movies? Go to the movies. She movie hop. That's what she loved to do. But guess what? She didn't leave. That's what she was doing. But you have to parent. You have to parent. Some of these parents aren't parenting. These kids are telling them what they're gonna do. Those are the ones that you see that's out of order. But the real parents who are really parenting, you got some real parents out there. They doing what they do. They making it happen. Then you got these parents, like the woman said, who's the child's gonna tell them what they want to do. No, you're not coming in my class telling me that. You're not coming in my class telling me what you're not gonna do. You always have to maintain that order. You always have to maintain that authority. Yeah. And kids understand that. Remember when you was young, your dad said you better not leave out this yard. Did you leave out the yard forecast?
No. Yeah,
exactly. No. It starts when you're young, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Start when you was 2, when he told you pick that up and you picked it up, or you didn't pick it up. You got that little hand spank. Then you learn how to pick it up. You understand what I'm saying? It starts young. You can't sit up there and try to train them when they're 15 and 16 years old. No, or 10 and 12. Now you better stay here, just then not leave. No, starts when they're younger than that.
Yeah, but and even with that group, like we still would have to create avenues for them to be able to get money for them, and then also men there to be like, all right, we ain't having none of this stuff in our right here. You take that over there if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But you get that from over here. But like even with people that age, that it does come back to us as far as like number one, creating opportunities for the youth to like learn a trade or a skill, or help them get paid in some type of way, or just some way to provide for their family.
Exactly.
And then also like if you gotta like grab somebody by the collar, you know what I'm saying, you can't be like, I'm not walking around my community, you know what I'm saying, I'm not Spider-Man or something. You don't have to be, you just you don't have to be scared.
Especially if you have, like, you see a need and the old lady down the street, grass is crazy looking. Okay, you get a group of boys. Okay, Samuel, or okay, Thomas, I want you to go over there. We're gonna cut so-and-so, Miss so-and-so's grass, and we're gonna ride around in the truck with our lawnmowers, and we're gonna put them to work. Seriously, where's that at? Where's the entrepreneurships? Where's the teaching and training? You see these boys, some of these boys are business owners. They can draw like crazy. Put them to work. Get them an easel. Let them sit out there and draw pictures of people and give them out, or charge them $2 for a picture. Put them to work. A guy a little bit, the little boy can bake, or the little girl can bake. Okay, I want you to bake a cake. We're gonna sell the little cakes. We're gonna go up to the food line today, and we're gonna sell the cakes. Or we gonna you gotta do something, parents. We can't always expect the government to do anything. We already know they're not going to do anything. It's up to the parents to see your child's gifts, and you walk in them. You help them to walk in their gifts.
Yeah. All right. So let me talk about one more thing, right? Because now this is what I disagree with what a lot of people say, though, because they be like, the youth is out of control, and they got this and that, Now, I personally don't think that they is nearly as half as bad as it was in the 90s. Trust me, like not in Richmond. I know that for sure. And I know, like, I think that a lot of people be like, you can't talk to them, you can't, when forgetting that they may have used to be that very youth, you know what I'm saying? And somebody should have came and talked to them, And I want us to understand, like, we can't just like blame, because is my thing. I don't think that we should like blame the youth, especially as the older generation. That means we failed. We dropped the ball at some point if we're blaming the next generation, But I mean, like even back in the day here, with Richmond, let me see. Like I used to tell people Richmond used to be in the 90s. It was the murder capital. They're not doing half of the stuff that, even with what we seen with the young brother doing, it's like 100, probably like over 100 more, and in 1994 it was like 160, in 97 it got voted the top 5, for whatever. So like when people say that about the youth, think that's like an excuse not to address the
Like this
situation.
one from New Year's Day are occurring at a rate higher
By the way, you know,
than that of any other Virginia city.
I wasn't born yet, so I couldn't.
Like this one from New Year's Day are occurring at a rate higher than that of any other Virginia city. In the first 4 weeks of this year, Richmond has recorded 7 homicides. For the entire year of 1984, 78 people were murdered, the most in the state. It's that record that Councilman Henry Marsh and Walter Kenney want reversed. And they plan to do it by forming an 18-member citizen committee to look into ways of preventing crime in the capital city.
We don't believe that we have to accept the inevitability of increasing crime and high crime rates in our city. We think that this is something that we can do something about if we all work together as a community.
Marsh added that this citizen crime committee would be made up of 2 people from each of the 9 councilmatic districts in the city. This committee would be effective, according to Marsh, because it would employ citizens who see crime every day. One civic leader likes the committee idea, saying it would provide better cooperation between police and residents.
Like that, I think the police doing a wonderful job, and I think that they need more involvement of citizens to help them out, more of a partnership.
But
thing.
you know, the problem is, you see this, all of these, I don't know what the hell this place is, because all of this stuff was boarded up by the time I was born. I was born like 2 years after this. So less than 10 years, all of this is gone. It's boarded up. You know what I'm saying? There's no economic opportunities. But at the same time, I want people to realize, like, you can't just be like, oh, well, the youth is out of control. They not, well, like, bro, this is a cycle. This is a thing that keep happening over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like, except for when the time where there was black men, black people out there willing to stand up and protect their communities and say that this wasn't happening. But when people be like, well, the youth is just out of control and the youth this and try to blame them or try to say that they're some far off, I don't agree with that. And in fact, they're not half as crazy as it was in the 90s. You know, it was a cold city, and I know here it was cold, you know. And now, like, more people is on their phones, you know what I'm saying? Like, more people have more access to information. I think the youth are getting smarter. I just think there needs to be more resources, more opportunities. Are there still crazy people? Yeah, there'll probably always be, which is your job to stop it. But if we keep saying, well, I'm not going to talk to the youth, then how are they ever going to learn the lessons that they're supposed to learn? And then we keep starting from scratch. Like, we don't know the information from back then because nobody bothered to pass it down to us. And now you sitting there saying, well, I'm not going to pass it down to there because I don't know what they call, I forgot what they call their trap music, like graveyard meal, whatever they called it now, graveyard or whatever. We called it trap music. They called it gangster music or whatever in the 80s or whatever they called it back then, you know. But y'all can't act like y'all is like better than them or like somehow that this is a cycle that has to be broken and is your responsibility. So it's an excuse when you say, oh, the youth ain't listen, I give up on the youth. That's like just an excuse in my opinion. But what you think about that, Cassidra?
You know what? I'm going to say something. Blanca says forecast we now have parents who are jumping on teachers and neighbors for checking their kids and trying to lead them in the right direction. How do we change that? We educate our own children, for one. And we have parent night, and it's mandatory for you to come. Either you come during the day or you come at night. And we could do that on Fridays or whatever day, even if you need to do it on a Saturday. I don't give a dang on when we do it, but it's once a month and you call it Parent Day. And we come in here, we talk to these parents. This is what we're doing and this is why we're doing it. And if they come up to acting a fool, we're going to lock them in the school and we're going to beat the hell out of them. Seriously, we're not having that. We're not doing that. It's a certain way that we can handle this stuff to stop all of this. A parent come up there acting crazy? Really? You think you finna jump on somebody? I'm going to tell you what. We're not going to get on the teacher for defending herself either. But we're not going to do that because we're going to stop that in the track. We're going to stop that in the beginning because we're going to have parent night and we're going to talk to these parents. And we're going to tell them, look, I know you got some teachers that's going to do blah, blah, blah. But you go talk to the principal on that one. You know what I'm saying? You bring us some proof because the cell phones are there. Bring us some proof and let's go from there. But if you know that a teacher is actually trying to teach your child the positive way, and you coming up there jumping on, you're not going to do that. We're not having that, period. So that stuff can be stopped, but we have to have a communication. We have to talk it through. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that all of this can be stopped any minute, any day we want to. But we have to bring it in, will it in, and bring it in our schools and start educating our own. That's where it's gonna start. Because black folk know how black folk, we know how we are. Okay. You ain't coming up here acting the fool. Come on up here if you want to. And if that teacher's defending herself, guess what? The teacher has a right to defend herself. You think if I said that, a parent gonna come up there and jump on the teacher? Because they know you have given them the right to defend themselves. Seriously, we're not gonna do this. We can stop all of this at any time. You understand what I'm saying, poor guys?
Yeah. No, and I'll say this too, because even when we be like, checking them, because I agree, they a lot of children do have this, and you see like with the younger generations of parents who is also lost and caught up, and then you have the whole social media aspect of all of it, and so like I definitely get what you're saying, but like when you have the youth, like hold on, let me see, I didn't. Yeah, well, grabbing that call. Yeah, sometimes you do have to use put your hands on them, but
that's right.
But anyway, like when you have like the younger generation, like we can't act like people wasn't talking about this. Like I look at it like, yo, this ain't like 1992. You know what I'm saying? They ain't tripping like they was. When they talk about the crack, like how the crack epidemic was. Like I remember it was like Ottawa. You better not go walk up Ottawa. There, people were scared to go to places like Jackson Ward and all of these other places, in Creighton Court and Wookham, and people were scared to go there. You can go there right now. I'm telling you, and it's no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the same. I don't think the youth are. I think that the youth are on the internet more than anything. Like they may be even easier to reach. I think the youth are more of the youth, I should say, have more access to knowledge, and a lot of them are using that. If you even look at the rates, even if you look at their crime statistics, crime has always been going down. Like if you look at it, that's why when they be like violent crime, most of it is for non-violent drug offenses.
Right.
But like, because like murder rate has always been going on a steady decline. You know what I'm saying? With the more technology that you have, But at the end of the day, when it comes to that, people are starving, and that's really what it comes down to. But it's not like it was like they used to have all type of stuff like the dog pound gang, and you better not whatever. Don't go walking down the street by yourself. Like it's not like that no more. Now you can see a white girl jogging through Jackson Ward at 10 o'clock at night. Ain't nobody gonna touch her. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think the youth is as real. Like I ain't gonna say as real. I'm gonna say like they not as extreme as it was even in the 90s, because that was the height of, like, y'all call us crack babies, but that was the height of all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like. But I think people have more access to more information, more stuff, and they're not on the same kind of extremist tip like it was back then. And I think drugs and stuff had a role. And I think that we're still recovering from the drug epidemic, and the war on drugs, like, that we're still recovering from that era. But that's why you see more of the black, from my generation, they may not have had their fathers, but they're more active in their children's life, whether they're married to the mother or not. And I think that them missing their fathers make them more active in their children's life. So I seen like the progress, and that's why I can't be like, yo, this younger generation is just off the chains. Like y'all wasn't tripping in 1992, like for real. Y'all was listening in 1992, like come on. But this is my opinion. What you think though? And if y'all want to come on. Oh yeah, by the way, before you go in, because I'm not gonna play this, but this was the point. It says Cincinnati leaders look for a solution to youth violence. They look in Cincinnati. This is in Montgomery. This is in Atlanta. So and this is Baltimore, like what we was talking about earlier. So you was talking about solutions. If any of y'all have solutions too, but what about you, Cassidra?
I want to talk one more thing about the guns and the gangs as far as the guns. How and this is another reason why we need our own children in our own schools. You having teachers now that's willing to take guns to schools. Whose children do you think they're going to shoot? And the parents are okay with this. Y'all some damn fools. My thing is, I'm getting my child out of that school because you will never get to a point where you looking at mine, especially if you have a boy, and now you want to possibly mute your mic, Anthony. Mute your mic. You know, you're not going to get mine. We have to remember this. We have to go after stuff like this when they start making laws that's going to harm our children. This is when we really need to take our children out of their schools. Period. You see what's going on. All of this, I keep telling you, all of it's done on purpose. We keep looking. Yes, we're paying more attention to our children because this is where the attention needs to be in our community. But I do believe that all of this is done on purpose. And anytime we want to, family, we can stop this at any moment by us parenting. I'm gonna tell you, when my girls when their dad died, and I was doing this by myself, I worked days. When they went to school, I went to work, and I didn't work overtime. I lived within my means. I didn't work 2 and 3 and 4 jobs. I did not. I had very good jobs, and I worked when they were at school. See, you as a parent have to still maintain. They had already lost one parent. I wasn't gonna go and just to get them things. We still had very good things, but I just knew when to shop. You understand what I'm saying? And I didn't go beyond what I needed because I wanted to be home with them. I wanted to be that parent. I was determined that the streets weren't going to get mine. And these are choices that we as parents have to make. You can't work 3 jobs and look at your family and say, "Oh, my son acting a fool." Well, I wonder why. Where you been, Betty? Betty, you're working 3 jobs. When are you home? When are you home to discipline? He's running his house. And what do teens do when they run their house? They run in their house. They acting a fool. They being grown, doing stuff they ain't got no business doing. Okay? So we can never blame our babies for this. This is on us. This is on grown folk because we knew how it was when our mom wasn't there, right? And we knew how it was when dad wasn't there. So why would you turn around and do the same thing to your child? I rest my mic.
Oh yeah, I agree. And Anthony fell off, and like the solutions. The thing is, right? I would say the simple thing, if you're a parent, right, go to where your child goes to school at, and make your presence felt, especially if you're a man,
Yes.
Go up to the school, or like I would say like support a black school, but that's too extreme. So go to the school that your children are at, or if they have a friend, help the friend or help them get opportunities, or find something that you're good at and teach that class for the black youth that want to learn it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you like, well, the other youth out there, like they're crazy, well, forget them. I'm sure that there is one other black youth that could use like whatever resources or knowledge that you have. So provide that for them, And then of course, like the obvious things, like you can do things to try to give back to the community, because it's hard to talk to the youth if you're not offering them nothing. I could go over there right now and be like, "Oh yeah, y'all need to get off of here and do this and do that," and then be like, "Oh, well, what? How can you tell me anything? What you done?" You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I'm like, "Yo, listen, I'm just trying to help y'all brothers do this or do that," provide them with resources instead of making demands, or try like, yeah, I'm passing out, something that you can go to Kroger for a gift card or something, and then maybe they'll be more likely to listen to something that I'm saying. If I'm saying like, yo, how about, did you know about this course here, or did you know about that? You don't have to be on there like, yo, listen, young brother, you know what I'm saying? Did you know the white man this? Like, ain't nobody saying all of that, It's about working on yourself and providing the resources. And then obviously supporting the black institutions, the black schools that's out there, that's already out there, and parenting for yourself. And then, just the basics, but be willing to talk to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Be willing to talk to the youth, you know what I'm saying? Don't be scared of them. That's the first step, is don't be scared, you know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, you a grown person, you adult, you know what I'm saying? You're not, you know, just don't be scared. But anyway, Cassidra, you want to say something?
Yeah. What I was looking at, I was thinking about the education, bring back the summer programs, bring back the after school programs, bring back the men in the schools. Okay. Let's start creating jobs. If you know that your child, like I said, if you know that your child, he wants to have his own business, why not start him now at 10, 9, 10? Okay. If he can cook, if you know that he has a gift to cook, bring him in the kitchen with you. Let him start making some cakes and selling them. Let him start doing some dinners. Put him to work now. Give them something to do. Our kids are these young brothers, and I'm seeing the water boys, right? They're businessmen. Okay. They need to be taught how to have their own business, how to put money back into their business. And it should have been an adult out there when they need to use somebody's cash app. Ain't nowhere in the world you should have been giving them your phone, talking about them doing a cash app, and you don't even know what they sent it.
And she
No.
said she drove off $200.
Okay, you mean to tell me you're not looking at that? Are you serious? You ought to know when they talking sweet talk, they doing something. You don't know that by now, but that was an easy and very expensive lesson to her. I believe in having movie night, okay, in your backyard, creating those movie nights for the blocks, you know, the kids on the block, or you know, you got the kids down the street, and you know they ain't doing much. Okay, let's do some bike riding this weekend. You know what I'm saying? These are just different things that we can do. Open up go to your government and the mayor's office and get them YMCA's open. Get those buildings back open. They used to have all kind of activities on at the Y. The guys could play basketball and get on these churches for being closed. Let's get a basketball court in some of these churches and have some men out there that's refereeing these boys. You don't just leave them out there to get, you know, well, come on, guys. You don't have no referees, no adult there. That's not it. You don't bring a bunch of kids together like that without you don't have no what you call it, a chaperone. No, we're not doing that. Let them volunteer. Like, if okay, your son is, you know, let him go and volunteer at some grocery stores. Remember back in the day, you used to go to the grocery store and carry bags. Remember? You know what I'm saying? You created some type of business. Go to the service station and clean some windows. You know what I'm saying? Those are jobs. They can still do that even till today. These are things like at the car wash. Hey, can I wipe your windows off while they, you know, vacuum the car or whatever? Can I clean your tires? These are jobs that can be created for our boys, for our kids. You know what I'm saying? Saturday night, let's go. Saturdays, let's do some grass cutting. Get you a group of boys, get a lawnmower, and let's go cut some grass in the neighborhood. Okay? And we as parents need to be donating. Let's donate, give them something to do. Have a hot dog night. Go to the park. Have a park, a thing where parents come together and y'all have y'all pitch in and get a bounty for your little, for your younger ones. Okay. And then you can figure out something to do for the older kids. This is going to take everybody participating because parents, they need your money to do. They can't do this by themselves, but we have to come together to do it. Mentors, we need male and female mentors. We need these group meetings, like even at the churches. Okay, but okay, I'm not talking about these men coming together and we know that what you're trying to do, because we're gonna have other men there that's gonna keep an eye out on all the men, okay, to make sure, because you're not gonna never go off with a child by yourself. No, they got to go. Then it needs to be a couple of people that's going to escort. You know what I'm saying? Or some of the kids are old enough to go by themselves, but just still keeping an eye out. You understand? What about like camps? I remember we had Camp Lawrence back in the day. You know, you go off to camp for a couple of weeks. You know, why not? Where those things go? What happened to all of this? This was stuff we look forward to in the summertime. You always had something to do. Let's do a skate night. Let's meet. Hey, we're going to meet up at the skates and we're going to have 5 adults there. I'm just saying, these are things that we can do. You can't just drop your child off at a mall. That's not parenting. That's you get rid of your child and your child get in trouble because you're not being the parent that he needs you to be. Okay, son, Me and a couple of fathers out here. Okay, I'm talking about the men now. You can drop your daughters off, ladies. But yeah, I'm not dropping them off, but I'm just saying you can go to the mall with them. Okay, I'm in the mall, Sarah, you know, you and your friend, but you don't have to walk with them. You can walk a couple, you know, a couple 5 steps behind them. They in one store. Okay, I'm over here in this store, but you still in the mall with them. Kids are still not apt to get in trouble if you're in the same location that they're in. These are things that we can solve this stuff today, family. This can be solved today. It's going to take you spending some more time with your children because they need you, teenagers. People think, oh, they teenagers, they don't need their parents. They do. They need you, 14, 15, 16, 17. They need you still to have that mentorship. Hey, we're going to do a camp this weekend. Or this summer, we're going to have a Camp Lawrence. We're going to have a camp, a Medgar Evers camp. I don't know. We're going to call it something, but we're going to just go out there in the woods and we're going to just have some, you know, do some camping fires, some, you know, whatever, activities, whatever. But we have to do something. Right now, what are parents doing besides working? And you wonder why your child, they have too much time on their hands. You got to keep them busy. Let me tell you something about my baby. She was so smart, right? We're talking about honor roll student. Her teacher called me, said, oh, here, you can't, you know, we can't get her to do this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I said, keep her busy. Keep her busy. When she got done with her work, I would tell them, okay, let her help the other kids. Let them, you know, let her show, because kids learn from other kids, right? I said, use her as your tutor. Keep her busy. She didn't. She was calling me and said, don't call me no more. I told you what to do. Keep her busy. She learned real quick. Keep her busy because she was so smart. She was bored, right? Until we put her in other classes. But in the beginning, we had to keep her busy. If you didn't keep her busy, she was going to keep you busy. And that's what I told the teacher. So she finally got it, you know, so eventually. But I'm just saying, these are things that we have to come up with, parents. We know our children. We know they can't be by themselves. We can't sit up there and you work in 12-hour days or 16-hours a day. And you come home and think everything is going to be in order. Your house is going to be a hog pen. You know what I'm saying? But we have to start somewhere. And I rest my mind.
Yeah, I agree, Cassidra. And you know, we coming up on the time, you know, and we're gonna talk about the other part, I guess, like another day, and hopefully you can come through, you know, and talk about the other part, you know, we was talking about. But I want to leave off on something positive.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I just want to show something. Now this brother, hopefully it come up. I just want to show like black businesses thing here. You know, this brother here.
Yes.
He has Chef Pescado Catering. He has a food truck, and he's on, like, you know, if you ever in Richmond, he'd be on like 510 South 14th Street.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, this is his number. This is like some of his stuff. It looks good. It's seafood though, you know.
Oh wow.
Let me see. I'm trying to find a good one to play of the brother. It's like he's talking about stay focused. This might be one.
Look like I see a
Good morning. We live, getting it out the pot with Chef Pescado, Grind Chef Hustle. Thank God for another day. I want to say what's up to everybody that's out there doing their thing. You know how it is, baby. You doing your thing, trying to stay positive. You always got some negativity trying to come knock you off your grind, knock you off your focus. Some people say they hate you. Some people say they tired of you. Some people say you only think about yourself. At the end of the day, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to explain yourself to nobody, even when they shooting you down and they saying you this and that. Keep grinding for it, baby. You're doing an awesome job. I love what you're doing. It's amazing. You're setting trends out here. You're doing things that other people ain't doing. Thank God for another day and stay blessed, positive in, negative out. Even when they try to bring the negativity out to you, doing it, baby. Blessed, love, live life. I try child. One life to live, and we living. Never giving up. Grind, Chef, hustle. Straight, misso, lie. I try child.
All right, you know, this is the brother's stuff here. This is something he has, you know.
That looks like lamb. Is that lamb?
Yeah, it's lamb. Yeah, it's lamb.
Okay.
And this Asian girl, she be going around Richmond spots like black restaurants, and she be trying them. They be giving it to her for free. I ain't saying nothing because it's like promotion and stuff, but
okay,
you know. But she be trying all their foods and stuff and putting it out there because she get hella followers. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that brother got. And also, so this Chef Pescado Catering, shout out to that brother. This is another one I'll probably go to, this this weekend or a few days.
Oh, wow.
So this is Philly vegan. Now I'm not even a vegan, I know
Oh,
somebody
wow.
who is a vegan though. And
Yes. Where's that? Is that in Richmond too?
yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to
They
chill.
on they on Hall Street,
Okay, I know where Home Street. Yeah, I used to live in Richmond, not in that Kings Dominion area.
Yeah. And my people, like, well, I know several people that know her. I don't know her personally. They kind of come from the hood. They did their thing, and then I think they like kind of a family who owned a business. And I'm gonna play this one from her.
Hey y'all, this is Philly Vegan, and we use Beyond Meat to help create our menu. And this is our story. We are family owned. We also wanted to create a legacy for our children, which inspired us to all come together and work this way. The idea of Philly Vegan started in my kitchen and blossomed into getting our own building and becoming known all over the world in the last 3 years. This has been a fun experience, and no matter what obstacles we face, we always overcome them because love is our foundation.
What makes Philly Vegan so special?
It's the love.
The love.
The love that you feel when you come through that door.
We wanted to create an experience that brings people together. Over 65% of our customers aren't vegan. They pull up, take pictures, make videos, go viral, and have an all-around great time. It's easy to enjoy what you do when your foundation is love.
Feeding people brings us joy. The smiles on their faces, the laughs and wonderful interactions fuels us. We all came from nonprofits, so when COVID hit, we thought, what can we do to help others? This is how we came up with our Pay What You Can program. At least once a month, customers can visit our restaurant and pay whatever they can afford. No questions asked. Pay What You Can was inspired by our foundation, love. And Beyond Meat support has been helpful with bringing plant-based options to the community.
Hey y'all, this is Philly Vegan.
All right, so
That's
shouts out to
nice. I love it. Wow.
And they all actually do stuff in the community. They got like a real good reputation where they give back and they do a lot of positive stuff. I never met them, but I know several people who have. So
wow,
I'm going.
Try that right there. Ooh, wee.
Yeah, I think I'm going either Friday or Saturday. So
yes, very nice. Have you tried the other guys, the other truck?
No, I haven't tried his yet. I'm not gonna lie. It's I'm not trying to make an excuse, but it is like $35 for like the lamb and
Are
like
you
$40.
serious? Oh man, what kind of truck? Okay, I got you.
But it's official because he has seafood, and I get it because he has to maintain his thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Seafood,
like,
but sometimes $35 a plate, really? Well, you know what? We we love to eat, so I'm not even gonna say there's some black folk, they love that crab meat, honey. They spend $100 in that crab, 30, 40, 50, $60 on that crab meat. So
yeah, he doing good too because they do go to these other restaurants. Because I just don't go to spend like like to no restaurants, spend like $50 on like a plate.
I know that, honey. I know. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not because I don't like seafood. I don't eat seafood like that. Though.
Yeah.
I don't like fish, and I don't do the shrimp and the crab. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think this person here is like, like a $15 sub. Is like they got a place here called Mr. Submarine. There's not all that, and it's white people, and they charge the same thing, and they crowd it all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's about like, about 15, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, yeah. That's
for like
cool.
a meal. You know what I mean? I think it's a meal. So
Okay. I like. That's nice.
Yeah. And I'm not even a vegan, but I'm definitely gonna try it though.
Yes, I am going. I like that. That's nice. I'm gonna have to come up there and try that. Man.
Yep.
That's nice. We moving on up in the world, y'all. We moving on up.
And when she said her kitchen, she like started in the hood, as they would call it. You know what I'm saying? And doing her thing, and it blew up. And she was able to get a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And then
really?
they do things.
Oh wow! She did say it started in her kitchen.
Yeah, it's like from she got her own restaurant from she came up.
Oh man, I put the wrong email in there, you guys. It's not .com, it's .org. I forgot I changed it. Oni, I need you to email me.
Yeah. So well, yeah, we right on time. It's about You know. So you want to say anything else though to someone? This was another great live consider another great conversation that we need, and also like it's other conversations that could come out of it, like even like parenting, like like young parenting, and I don't know what kind of I don't know, just I don't know.
Yeah,
Some kind
that's
of
another good one. We could talk about like young folk parenting, and I think that's a lot of what the problem is so many young parents that are parenting and they don't know what they're doing. They don't, and nobody's teaching them how to parent. And that's why I wrote my book, The Mother's Love. I have a book, and that's why I wrote the book. For any young parents, that would be a great investment to give them the book to help them out with parenting, because if you're too busy, they got to get it from somewhere. And a lot of these mothers, the grandmas, they're busy. They're still working, and you leaving these babies with these babies, and they're not teaching and training them. And those are the babies that's telling you what to do, because we don't know. They don't know. They just, going by, just feelings. But it's not about being friends. It's about you parenting and making sure that you're pouring into your child for the future, that they'll be ready for the future. And no matter what they come across, they can handle it. That's prepared. That's parenting on purpose. That's making sure that you're preparing them for where they're going. I just hope you guys. I hope I hope we're saying things that's going to help you to think and help you to see, well, what can I do as far as minor control, minor concern. You know what I'm saying? Even if we have grandchildren, you can start with them. Even if your children are older and grown, I start with my granddaughters. I start with them. That's
yeah.
where I start.
Yeah, Blanca said children raising children now, and that's
Yes.
why we
Yeah.
something that we need to address. So maybe that would be the next thing. I'm not a parent, so I can't really talk, but I could talk about like not being a parent, like and why like not to not be a parent. I'm saying like not be one at like 15 though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. And also not being one time you get out of high school because you're bored. And and some of these girls, 19, they pregnant, 18, they graduate today, they pregnant tomorrow. Like there's nothing else to do but have a baby. No, we're not doing that. This is a subject that we need to talk about next week, because we need to get our girls back and our guys back on track to help them understand. Hey, go get your trade, go to a trade school, do that 15 to 18-month trade school before you think about having these babies. Stop sending your children to a 4-year college, because they're getting bored after 2 years. They're dropping out. You got 2 years, a 2-year window after high school to get them some kind of certification, some kind of certificate. And if you send them to a 4-year college, and doggone well, these colleges put them through 2 years of prereqs before before you even touch a subject that they're in their field. They're tired of that. They just come from 12 years of math. Who wants to go through 2 more years of math? And it's not mandatory for you to do that to get into your field. So let's start thinking about this. Stop sending your children 4-year colleges. Send them to get a trade school certification and then once they're 25, then they know what they want to do. They don't know what they want to do right now from 18 to 20. They don't know. They don't have a clue. So I hope we're here saying, making you guys think about the future. Our babies are in trouble. We got to get busy, y'all. We got to get busy. I rest my mic.
yeah, that's all facts. And so yeah, and shouts out to my brother Anthony who was on here. He dropped off, but shouts out to my brother. He definitely probably come back on next time. And consider you already know the other topic we would go get into. I'm glad we didn't mess that up with this one, because this was well needed conversation. That needed its own conversation.
Much needed, much needed, much needed.
Yeah,
We're gonna
so
talk
I
about
appreciate
that though. Those, the foreigners, and we're gonna talk about the other black folk. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Right.
much needed topic also.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna do that another day. But yeah, thank you, Cassidra. So you have any last words you want to say?
Oh, I'm done for Cass. I think I've said enough. But thank you
Yeah.
for the opportunity. I do. I appreciate the opportunity. Let's keep
Right.
going.
Yeah, we're gonna come back even better one next week, So
Yes.
shouts out to Blanca who was in the
Yes.
building. I appreciate you. All love. Shouts out to Oni who was in the building. Shouts out to Bukari who was in the building. You know what I'm saying? The stepfather, as he say,
Yeah.
Shouts out to Raw, who was in the building. Definitely appreciate you, Raw. Much love. You know, you already know the answer. Hardcore was in the building. You know what I'm saying? He was on. I ain't gonna put him out there. I ain't gonna put his business out there, what he was talking about earlier. But
Lord, I don't know what
Return of the Brother was in here too. Shouts out to Return
Yes.
of the Brother.
Yeah. I seen him.
So I appreciate that for him for coming in here, and it's all love. I'm gonna let this brother have my last words. Here it's only gonna be a minute.
You know, they call this hate teaching. This is not hate teaching. This is love teaching. Right. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell you what I'm telling you. That's right. I wouldn't stick my neck out. I wouldn't take the chance. Well, don't you know that old blue-eyed thing stands around here just waiting for me to say something that he can put me in jail? I make sure everything I say is the truth, the gospel truth. And once I know it's the truth, I'm going to tell it if it costs me my life. So this isn't hate teaching. This is love teaching. This is love talk. We love you, but we don't love him. We want to unite with you, but we don't want to unite with him. We recognize you as our brother, but we don't recognize that old blue-eyed thing as our brother. Let him go on and be a brother to himself.
You know, so I couldn't have said it better myself. You know, so as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.
Peace, family.